Good morning. We are live, a better official, and 5-Play Friday. Greetings, everyone. Welcome. Welcome. We're a bit chilly here in the beautiful San Francisco Bay Area. 33 degrees. Wow. We're in Mike Goodwin territory. So feeling a bit of a chill here, but warm in our heart as we conclude our first year of live streaming. It's been excitement and drama and success and failure. Let's put it that way. Glad to see everybody here in the morning. Jason Hayes jumping on with a day off after a busy week. This is one of the busiest weeks in the year, obviously, for high school basketball officials. So, and given relative shortages, you may be, more taxed than usual. Here comes the tech team. Come here, buddy. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Tech team is in the house. Say hello to everybody, buddy. Say hello. Say hello, you sweet puppy. You sweet puppy. Now get on out of here. Go back to your control board. Go on. Go on. Go on. Sheesh. Sheesh. When your tech team is a cat and a dog, you face challenges with a live stream. That is for sure. Good to see Mike Connors in the house. Mannix. Jason Hayes super busy, and Dave with some unfortunate news. Hamstring strain. Hamstrings, of course, can be tricky. That is probably going to best thing put you on the shelf for at least a bit, rather than try to nurse it and make it potentially worse. Ouch. So healing vibes to you, Dave, as the new year approaches. Randy Wilson is clearly overworked. 11 games in 4 days. That's a lot of action. 2 or 3 games a night. That is tough. Oh. Excellent. Well, good fortune in the past and more good fortune in the future, Dave. Billy Mack jumping in from that small little corner of the provision state. Now that is, where would that come from, Billy? Provision state, like Revolutionary War support provision or supplier to the colonies provision? I don't know where that comes from. Help me out. Help me out. And today, definitely the advice was take the over. A little sluggish getting the show started. Not the first time. Not the first time. And not the last. Billy Mack, be at war with your vices, at peace with your neighbors, and let every new year find you a better person. Benjamin Franklin, he was probably involved in the naming of the state as the provision state. No, Jason. No, Jason, your first bad decision or your last bad decision of the current year. Chuck Kazulis is in the house. Happy New Year to you. Patrick Whitson, good morning to you. The Zooch strategically took the over. Mike, we're 33 degrees here in the Bay Area. Let me know how we compare. A local Missouri inquiry there. Stan, good to see you. Good to see you. Hello, Jeffrey Sampson. From where do you officiate? I don't believe I know. Good to see you on the live stream. Close, but no cigar. Missed it by that much. That much. Huh. Yeah. Chris, good to see you from South Dakota. Oh, you got a game tonight. That's interesting. I was wondering if anybody had games scheduled tonight. on New Year's Eve. I'm going to do that. The Dr. Phil is in the house. Great. We had a great turnout this morning. All right. Excellent. Good to see you, Joseph. Yeah, we'll try to make... Hey, Chris Healy, super supporter. Good to see you. The Double Up. Robert Kruger. Excellent. Excellent. So a balmy 40 degrees in southern Maine. All right, we're getting weather reports. Billy, here's the deal. As we all know, I show my age every single episode of the live stream. I wonder why that is. Let me make sure I'm got my phone quieted. Oh, we're in great shape. Great shape. Wisconsin. Excellent. Robert or Bob, let me know. Let me know in the chat. I don't know. Because a lot of times people's YouTube channel name, the name that's associated is more formal. We get that in the in other areas as well. Yeah. Thanks, honey. All right. Bob, excellent. Good to see you. Okay, tremendous. Tremendous. All right. Let me think. What do I need to do? Let's take a look at the rundown. That's where this is supposed to show up. Oh, okay. All right. Hey, let's take a look at the rundown like we often do. Every Wednesday, basketball rules expert. We look at scenarios, text-based rules questions so that we can get better and take the rules with us onto the basketball courts. Of course, every Friday, like today, 5 Play Friday Live, we look at game video, analyze all of the things, demeanor of the crew, correct official making the call, was the correct call made, positioning, all the things, right? So we can get better as basketball officials, take the positives, eliminate the negatives. And if you're new to the chat, new to the live stream, jump in the chat, put your voice in the game. We've got a fantastic group of officials consistently, a great community of officials. If you have, let us know where you officiate. And if you have an opinion about a play, something you see, right? When we analyze game video, of course, right? I see this. But I didn't see this that you saw, and this, right? You have an opinion about positioning or anticipation or any of the things, right? We want to share and get better together. If you could take just a moment, hit like on the live stream, helps us get it out to more basketball officials. If you have an opportunity, you could share it on the socials, whatever strikes your fancy. And we can get more people in on the chat and all get better together. Okay. All right. Fantastic. That went pretty well. Oh, I wish, I tell you, I wish I just had 10 minutes more each time, if I just had 10 minutes to go through the process, the procedural stuff in the show. When we're doing 5 Play Friday, we're getting the videos ready. We curate the videos. So it's not just like, oh, here's a clip, play the clip, etc. We do all sorts of stuff to make things more complicated, but hopefully for a better viewing experience. So if only we had 10 more minutes before each show, I could work out the transitions, which are the most important part. I appreciate everybody bearing with me as we have for these many months. So, I have to really celebrate the fact that I have been able to create live streams basically twice a week for, I haven't counted them up, but, approximately 25 episodes of Basketball Rules Expert and 25 episodes of 5 Play Friday. And then plus we did the Masterclass Mondays. So, sort of a wildly successful first year of doing this, and hopefully much more to come. More interesting things to come in the future as well. So I appreciate everybody who's bore with me. Bore might be the appropriate word. Has made the effort to bear with me through the learning process as we learn to dominate this live streaming software. And of course, we live stream in Ecamm Live, and there will always be a link in the show notes if you want to try it out. It's the #1 live streaming software for Mac. Awesome. Okay, let's take a quick Thomas Hennian making it in before we get started. Yes, the price is going to double. Yes. All right. Okay. My daughter went to Humboldt State. Oh, excellent. So I imagine there is a lot of opportunity up there, Joseph. Let me know. Uh-oh, Tony Dye making an appearance. Yeah, awesome. Good to see you, Tony. It's been a while. Where you been? Well, hopefully everybody's work schedule has given them day off today, and so we have more people available to view. All right, so this is where we get another transition going, and of course that's the weak link in the show. Let me figure out what I got going on. Yes, Billy Mack, absolutely. You have assessed the situation properly. Absolutely. Okay. So I am here at the show start. Show launcher. Da-da-da. Da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Okay. All right. I think what we want to do is say, here we are, the final day of the year. We're looking at plays. How many? 5 plays. Stick around. That didn't work. Oh, my goodness. What did I do wrong? Show launcher. Huh. Solved. Oh, here we are on the final day of 2021. We are here to look at plays. How many plays? 5 plays. Stick around. Greetings and welcome back to another episode of 5 Play Friday, the show where we take a look at plays, get better as basketball officials, look at all of the things, and so that we can get better. Greetings, everyone. My name is Greg Austin with abetterofficial.com. We craft video to help basketball officials get better and take control of their officiating career. if you haven't done so already, now would be a great time to do all of the things, right? You can hit like, you can hit subscribe, and you can hit notify so you don't miss out on any of our new content. We go live every Wednesday and Friday. Join the show. Put your voice in the game so we can all get better together. And before we get going with today's episode, allow me to thank our tremendous show supporters who fuel the show. Charles Fogel, Fred Thompson, David Barnett, Nick Hahn, and Janice Brown. Much appreciated and much love. There's always an opportunity to support the show. I'll put a link down in the show notes below. Appreciate it. Love our show supporters and so much love and appreciation for them. All right, fantastic. Today we are looking at 5 plays. I have to ask a question. Did all of that just happen, or are we just coming back from the elevator music? Let me know. I have the ability to step off, make some changes, etc. Did I waste my time with all of that? Let me know if I just did the show intro or not live, or whether I need to redo it. Yeah, Tony, we love the elevator music. We love it. So, it happened. Thank you, Tony. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Oh. Yeah. Oh, awesome. Awesome. Love it. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Okay. We know our procedure. We know where we're at. We know we're here. We're ready to get started. We're ready to look at plays. Boy, oh boy. Give me that 10 minutes, please. All right, let's look at play number 1. All right, we got a play submitted by Matt Bell. Traveling play, spin move, point of emphasis, National Federation of High School Basketball rules, right? We have a player. Again, it's easier with the larger the player, right? The longer the player, the more obvious these violations become. Player does a spin move, right? At the high school level with high school rules, it is extremely difficult to execute a spin move legally. This player violates, right? It's an obvious violation on this play. We have a left foot pivot, holding the ball, spins, places the right foot on the floor, and returns the left foot to the floor, right? The energy in the gym goes, oh, come on, ref. That was a great move, right? It's one of the challenges we face. This play is legal at other levels. It's legal in the NBA. This year, NCAA men says, hey, we're going to give leniency in this situation and not rule this a travel. But of course, at the high school level, not only is it a travel, but it's also a point of emphasis, right? Traveling is a point of emphasis, specifically addressing jump stops and spin moves, right? And Euro steps, right? And adjudicating these plays properly. So it's important for us to get these plays right. This is an unpopular decision. The fans all want to see plays like this. And of course, if we put a ruling on a play like this, one thing that's really important is that we have consistency as a crew, right? If this is a travel at this end of the court, it sure as heck better be a travel down at the other end of the court for a spin move at that end of the court as well. So thank you, Matt, for joining. If you want to submit a play for 5 Play Friday, there will be a link in the show notes and a link right here on the screen where you can do that. abetterofficial.com/submit plays. So thank you, Matt, for submitting that play. A traveling violation by rule, a point of emphasis this year in National Federation of High School Basketball rules, and one that we want to have consistency. Again, why is it a point of emphasis? Because we need more traveling rulings in the game? No. We need more accurate traveling rulings in the game, right? If this is an illegal move, it needs to be identified as a violation. For plays that are legal moves, we need not misidentify those and rule a violation where it is not important or accurate. So Billy Mack has a travel. It's obviously a travel, right? And the challenge, of course, is that nobody in the game wants this to be a travel, right? It's a display of athleticism, execution. It's just unfortunate that in National Federation of High School Basketball rules, this is illegal. And the player sees it at the NBA level. They see it at the collegiate level. And it's allowed, and they try to execute the move, and it's ruled a travel. Come on, what? Right? That's the we don't want to officiate athleticism and out of the game, but we're faced here as high school officials with a situation where, look, this is a point of emphasis. This is illegal by rule, right? And the point of emphasis is to have more accurate rulings. So we have something that's illegal by rule. Or are we gonna say no tonight? That's okay, right? It's the challenge we face. The challenge we face. Donald likes the call. Traveling, right? I think we all agree this is a traveling violation. The key here is how we're going to handle this as a crew, right? One of the things we may have some officials who are like, come on, man, we're not putting it was, let's say they're a collegiate official, men's collegiate official. That's like that play is legal from where they're coming from. And on this game tonight, they're doing a high school game and they're not going to call that, right? So what are we going to do as a crew, right? The most important thing we can always do as a crew is be consistent in that game. So, we've identified this spin move travel at this end. We go on the other end, we have to get a spin move travel down there as well. Oh, okay. All right. So Jacob says in his local area, the move was to take that NCAA men's. So NCAA men's has said this is illegal by rule, but we're going to offer, what we want to do is expand the leniency on this action, right? So they haven't said, okay, by rule this move is illegal or this move is legal, but they've said this is how we want to officiate this play, right? So Jacob's saying at a local level, getting guidance that, hey, in this area, this is how we want to handle this situation. And of course, we're always going to get different variations at different parts of the country about how to handle things. Yeah, yeah. If he, and I think he could have done it, right? It's just like he's built this move into his game. Right, Dave. But the point is, it becomes, because everything happens a little bit slower in real time with a larger player, it becomes super obvious. Sometimes those quick players, right? They just like the water bug. It's like they're so quick with their feet. Sometimes we can lose lose sight. Yes, they will. Motown 302 says, put it in the game, and the player knows, hey, next time we can't do that, right? Cool, cool. Oh, awesome. Transaction. Okay. All right. I think I got a handle on things. Huh. I'm guessing. I am guessing. Oh, Critton. No games going on in your part of the world. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The walls are closing in here in the Bay Area a little bit. We'll see what happens over the next few weeks. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Let's take a look now at. Hey, let's take a look. All right, a spin move travel to get us started. Let's look at play number 2. All right. So what do we have here? We have a transition dunk over a player. Get out the way, ref. Come on now. Right. And so, the question here is there any unsportsmanlike action involved here? Right. Our dunker, right? The player goes down hard. I think they may have hit their head on the floor, a factor on this play, right? The dunker looks down at the player and then steps over them, right? And so we're thinking on a play like this, I think he did hit his head, about all of those things and what are the factors that help us in making an adjudication about this action, whether it's unsportsmanlike or not. And we also have our teammates who have a great emotional reaction. Are they taunting or demeaning the opponent, or are they celebrating their teammate, right? With the, on his head indication. It seems to be sort of a team thing that they celebrate in this fashion. Right. So what are the factors that we're going to use to determine whether or not this is unsporting? Right. We don't want any unsporting, demeaning, taunting, etc. action in the game. Right. So our dunker dunks the ball, looks at the player, right? But we have to evaluate all of the things, right? We're evaluating what the player who took the action and also the reaction from the opponent, because that's a factor here. Right? If we had a negative reaction from the opponent or about the step over as well, right? Then things can escalate, right? In my judgment, I don't see this player. I see the step over action as sort of being the natural way they can extricate. They want to go to the other end of the court, right? They just want to get past this player, right? So I don't see unsporting action here on this play, but we want to be sensitive here. Now, what's the other thing? We need to be concerned about that player who potentially hit their head on the floor, right? And what their reaction is, right? Let's watch. They pop up pretty quick. They are all good, right? So we need to be aware of that player. In addition, right, we have a timeout, and so we are going to have teams crossing here after this play, right? After this play, we may expect, right, some reaction from the player who is dunked upon, a teammate, etc., any sort of energy with players coming in towards the bench and crossing paths. So on a play like this, those are the things that jump out to me. Is we're evaluating the action of the dunker. We're evaluating the reaction of the player who is dunked upon. We're aware that they may have hit their head, and we're going to have to possibly address that with the coach, right? And say, and take some action there. But also after the resulting timeout here, we want to watch the players even more intently. We always want to watch players when they cross, but even more intently on a play like this after some dramatic action where somebody potentially is offended by, the reaction of the team or some such, right? So all of those things are popping into our brains as basketball officials when we have a play like this in our game, and we don't want to miss anything, and we need to make proper judgments about sporting action in this situation. The other thing that we have here, which is of course sad, is the empty stands. We're in an arena situation, a collegiate arena. This is a high school game in a collegiate arena, and one of the things we love about the high school experience is the stands being filled, the band playing, the cheerleaders, the excitement, the student sections potentially going back and forth. So in the empty arena, the sadness. What does everybody think about this play? Critton does not like the behavior of the bench, right? So do we, the key question here is this bench saying, hey, directing their energy at the player who was dunked upon, or are they celebrating their teammates' action, right? And sometimes teams can have sort of their own mannerisms, right? Like, just like a bicep or something like this, right? A player dunks or grabs a great rebound in traffic, and everybody on the bench stands up and gives some, strength, right? Reaction, right? So it's an emotional game, and we don't want to officiate the motion out of the game, but we have to figure out where the emotion is directed to. Dave Krieg says, clear and obvious taunt. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. Jason Hayes says, that's a taunt. And Billy Mack says, no. Right? And so what are the other factors going to be? It's like, what has gone on in this game? What is the temperature in the game? Right? If we've had players facing up on each, any sort of previous technicals, obviously. But, yeah. Jaron says, agreed. I don't know which side, Jaron, are we? Yeah. So Dave says the step over is taunting, and I can appreciate that, but let's take a look, right? Oh, don't do that. Don't do that. All right, so we got the dunk. He lands in place. Right, you see his momentum is starting to go forward. Yep, I can appreciate that. If you say that's an automatic, then fine. Right? the way that he sort of steps over, like he's, he realizes his foot is getting potentially contacted and he may stumble over the player. It doesn't look to me like this is a taunting step over action. This is more like, I need to go to that place and you are in the way. And yeah, that's, but these are judgment calls that we're going to have to make. So Stan wants to take a look at the dribble, and we could look at all the things on this play as well. Jason Hayes says the stare down and step over is the taunt. Mike Connor says not that it's part of the equation, but the defender did not seem to be bothered. I would say all of the things come into play. Personally, for me, all of the things come into play when we're evaluating a situation like this. Just as, in a fight situation, the taunt that leads to the fighting action is considered to be, right, to me, it's a part of the equation. But, yeah. Yeah, so Randy's reading the body language of the player who steps over like, sorry, like, I didn't mean to do that. I don't want to get tripped up and what have you. All right, so let's look at all the things on the play as well, right? We can start back here. Let's look at the position of the trail, right? Trail's in great position, and then a double team and the ball handler come towards him, right? And we get in this situation where we are looking like down to officiate. When the play comes towards you, right, we don't have the ability to accelerate backwards, but we would want to get away from this action that's right in front of us, in my opinion. Right? And so you see he steps back, right, to gain perspective. And he's got the initial count in one direction, the other count in the other direction, right, which is fantastic. Great behavior there. Deflection, and we're going the other way, right? So you're now new lead in this situation. Is there any way you're going to beat this play to the end line? Absolutely not, right? So you need to make a decision about where is the best place for me to officiate. If you're the center in this play, what do I know about my lead? They are not going to be in the best position to officiate this play necessarily. I may need to expand, right? These are the things that are just popping into our minds, and we need to get down as center on this play as well. And if we're new trail, have at it, guys. All right. Then, right, so we're beat. We could say that this may be the best angle to officiate this play. The further down we go, our look does not improve, right? We can always accept the fact that we are going to be beaten on this play and just find the angle to officiate. Once that play finishes, then move to the end line quickly. We've got a cameraman over on the left. And this player appears to hit his head, right? Our two officials both move in, lead and center, which is great behavior here. Our old trail recognizes the timeout, and we have players cross on the play. All right, let's take a look again at any sort of travel and transition. Deflection. Okay, is this player dribbling the basketball with that deflection? Dribbling the basketball means a player in control of the ball pushes or bats the ball to the floor. That's where we make our big bucks. Picks the ball up and then begins a dribble. Is this a double dribble? No. No, it is not. That initial batting of the ball was not a part of a dribble. But that's something we want to look at on a play like this, right? So all of the things, this is how we analyze game video. This is the things that we're looking for so we can all get better as basketball officials. Yeah. Yep, Mike, I agree. Lead had great behavior after the field goal. Right, and Thomas says let's identify this play, and we're putting that into the memory bank. Right, we're cataloging plays. This situation occurs in a game. Right. So could we, out of a timeout, have a discussion with this player who dunked the basketball? Hey, that was a great dunk, right? Let's make sure not to step over a player after that situation, right? Or just some guidance to help them, because we're sort of approaching a gray area. Although that's my judgment, many of you think it's not gray at all. Alex says, keep it in mind going forward as well, right? So if you think this is, boom, tactical taunting, boom, great. That's fine. Now we know we've had that in the game. If we don't think it quite rises to that level, but it's not something we're going to ignore, right? We are aware this has occurred in our game. We're aware that offended player, if we're going to consider them offended, may at some point, are they going to come back with some retaliatory action, right? In a boys' game, in a girls' game, right? We need to be aware. All right. I got Chris Healy Sr. said, I got nothing. Excellent. Awesome, Stan. Okay, cool. I got my transitions figured out. Oh, tremendous. All right, let's take a look at another play. Play number 3. All right, a great possible backcourt play, and really forces us to have a clear understanding of status and processing on a play, right? So we have a possible backcourt play. Was our passer on this play? Did they have front court status? The player who then caught the ball in the air and passed it forward, what was the status, their status on the play? This is obviously an NBA game. NBA rules regarding backcourt are different, but so we can analyze it from a National Federation of High School point of view, right? So in this situation, we have to evaluate our initial player. Let's call him player 1. Did they have backcourt status when they threw the ball back to their teammate? Their teammate, what was the status there, right? And if we look at this play, an excellent play, we have athleticism on the court, right? And these plays are so exciting, these displays of athleticism. But our job is to analyze all of the things. So if we take a look here, right, our player is, the defensive player here at some point gains player control, right? They do when they grab the ball right there. Player control. And even though they may step into the front court afterward, they have released a pass towards a teammate. That teammate jumps from the backcourt. They are in the backcourt. The ball is in the backcourt there and is passed forward. And at this point, the ball gains front court status on this play. This is a legal play in high school, right? A great display of athleticism. One that's going to force us, though, our brains are going to be working, right? As center on this play, even as new lead, anybody can come get it if we have an obvious backcourt violation. But this play is legal by rule and should be adjudicated as such. Fred Thompson in the house. Legal. Oh, Jacob. Oh, I really have to question your judgment now after you besmirch my Golden State Warriors. No longer, though, the team with the best record. They regained it in this game, but have since fallen to the Denver Nuggets and then had a day off last night. Sad. Jason says, travel? I say no. That's right. There's a lot of things. Our brain is sort of whirring here when they stepped were they in the front court? Were they on the line, etc.? Bradley Beck in the house. Indeed. Right? Even though the players, right, their players have their bodies over the front court, the status is always the key consideration here, right? The player jumps from the backcourt, jumps with great momentum and athleticism, and is over the front court contacting the basketball. People, stakeholders in the game could say, well, wait, they're in the front court. Right, but the rules say otherwise. Of course, ball status is always related to player status. A player's status is always determined by where they last touched the court. If they jump from the back court, contact the ball above the front court in midair, they are still in the back court. The ball's status when they contact it gains the status of the player. So the ball has backcourt status. Throw it to a teammate. The teammate jumps from the back court into the front court, but they remain in the backcourt by rule. Their status, they contact the ball. It's again backcourt status, and they throw it forward on this play. People are asking about a push on white 12. Oh, okay. All right. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about the potential contact on the shot at the end. I remember I had one official who was really bothered when players put a hand on a player who's obviously going in for a layup. What we have to judge, of course, is whether this contact is incidental or rises to the level of a foul. I had a play in my last game a couple days ago where it was that exact same thing. The defender's beaten. The player goes by them. They put a hand out on them, but it's a capitulation. It's not. There's no extension. There's no contact. There's no energy behind it. It's just a touch, right? So our judgment here is whether that's incidental or not. Now, obviously, NBA players can play through a lot of contact, but also NBA players are afforded great respect as being shooters, right? But I don't think on this play that would. Oh, okay. All right. So Patrick says on the initial contact, let's take a look there. Right. So we've got Chris Paul, of course, who is going to embellish any possible contact on this play. If we look at the angle that the defender goes, let's go to the slow-mo. Where is the slow-mo? Let's go here. Oh, come on, ref. Yeah, that's where we make the big bucks, making that judgment. to me, the player got past, and we have embellishment by the player in black. Let's put it that way. Good to see you, Martin. Good to see you in the house. Right? So, but that's it just brings. That brings up another point. Sometimes in your game, you have players who embellish, right? A lot of times you get it with players who have a lot of hair, right? They love to do the jiggle their hair anytime there's any sort of possible contact by a defender on them. But that's one of the things we're evaluating is this player an embellisher, right? They release a 3-point try, the defender is legal, they land, and they fall to the floor, right? They're telling us this is their approach to the game. They are trying to influence with their actions the official's judgment on plays, right? So we just say, okay, I know number 12 or I know number 32 or 35 or whatever, right? Again, we're cataloging things about the play, about the players, and about the game that we're officiating. And that's something we could, as well communicate to our crew, right? Hey, 35 on that jump, I had a great look. He just completely embellished. Let's keep an eye on him, right? And we're identifying him as somebody who's trying to influence the official's calls when a call is not warranted. All right, the gauntlet is thrown down. Excellent. Excellent. Okay. All right. I'm going to go back here and I'm going to say So a great display of athleticism on that play. Let's look now at play number 4. No. All right. All right, a great backcourt play forces us to think through all of the things status related, right? And we see great athleticism on the play, allow ourselves to process properly so we can adjudicate those plays. A great example from that, it's obviously from a higher level, but we see that athleticism in our own game. We love to see that athleticism in our own game. We also see a situation where we need to process, analyze, and not put a reaction whistle on a play. All right, now let's take a look at play number 4. All right, here's that play. You know that one, right? This is one, just a super rudimentary play from the fantastic Lamar Sullivan. He's got a great YouTube channel with a lot of great play clips on it. I will put a link down below to Lamar's channel. You should check that out. You can always just search YouTube for Lamar Sullivan, Lamar with double R at the end, right? So this is the play, right? The obvious play, the one that there's confusion about in the past about whether this is a backcourt violation or not, right? In order to have a backcourt violation, we must have player and team control on the court, or player control establishing team control on the court. Simple, straightforward. This is the play once a few years ago when team control was given to the throw-in team during a throw-in. This is the one that caused all the confusion, right? Because, well, there's team control but the team control that's given is only for the administration of fouls should a foul occur on the play, right? So on this play, does our player in green ever have player control in the front court? No. So there's no team control on the front court, in the front court. And in the absence of team control in the front court, we cannot have a violation by rule, right? In order to have a violation, we have to have team control in the front court, last to touch in the front court, first to touch in the back court. The missing component on this play is that there is no player and therefore no team control in the front court by rule, right? So this is one that is often asked about, this play, by new officials who become somewhat confused about the team control aspect of things, right? So this is the one. We learned this one. We know this is legal. There may be energy in the building, right, that may jump up about that's got to be backcourt, etc. But legal play by rule. And you also get a situation here where it's everybody knows. Well, everybody knows that's backcourt. There's no pushback anywhere, right? There's no pushback by the stakeholders in the game, right? Everybody knows that's a violation. We're going this way. But also what we have here is a situation where our partners, right? Our partners can help us fix this play, right? We have made an erroneous ruling in the game. Do we have an opportunity to correct it? Is it appropriate? This is a high school game. We're in the second period. No, we're in Minnesota. We're in Minnesota. 2 18-minute halves. Okay. All right. So we have 4 minutes remaining in a 14-point game, and the visitors are offended by this bad call. Are we going to fix this? If I'm the center on this play, am I coming, hey, partner, hey, we never had team control on the court, in the front court, right? Can we go with an inadvertent whistle on a play like this? Yes, we can, right? All the situation, all the aspects of the game say, let's come fix this play, right? If the score is 59-12 and it's against the team with 59, okay, I can see that, right? This is an erroneous ruling on this play. We have the opportunity to fix it. I would encourage you to evaluate all the things and come in with information as a partner, even if you are that younger official, and get the play right. Done all the things. Oh, done all the things. Merciful heavens. Calvin never had possession of the ball. That is correct. We're all going to get this play right. I mean, we've sort of beat this, but you will see this, officials inquire about this play on Facebook groups. The newer the official, the more likely they are to potentially be confused. Also, if we are officiating this play and we just lose our train of thought for a moment and we react. Oh, they touched it here, they touched it there, right? We don't do all the processing necessary. Stan says he didn't see a defensive touch at first. What if the defense had touched? What if the defender had deflected the ball on the throw-in pass? Would that change anything? No, it would not. All right, Sam Miles in the South Jersey area. Good to see you on the chat. No player control in the front court. Excellent. All right. So, Chris says center can come in and help here with a brief conversation, get this play correct. If we look at the center's demeanor, The center is thinking about what's going to happen. Come on, man. Don't be so harsh, right? We're just moving on. No energy to correct. But we do certainly have that opportunity to correct on this play. Yeah, Billy, the confusion is after when team control was given to the throw-in team, then a lot of confusion arose about this play. It became like a point of emphasis a couple of years after that because there was so much confusion. But of course, you're in your small little corner of Connecticut, not confused. And if you ever grow confused, I know, Billy, you just say, I'm going to tighten the belt one more notch. Zooch, I would. Okay. Also, so Randy points out that our crew incorrectly handles the resulting throw-in, right? Remembering that a backcourt throw-in, a throw-in that leads to a backcourt violation, the resulting throw-in is on the sideline in the front court? No. You got me thinking wrong. No, they executed this properly. You threw me for a loop there. If it was on the center side and the center had the violation, the center would become the new trail and the other two officials should rotate around them. Oh, I've heard that before, Dave. Right? And we definitely want to think about all of the things, right? Time, score, our factors. Not correctable, but something, I like to use the word fixed as opposed to correctable to eliminate the distinction, right? Correctable errors are defined by rule. Fixable situations, right? I'm the lead. Boom, we're going white ball. White ball. My partner comes in and says, hey, I have information, right? That ball was actually tipped. I had that in my last game as well, right? Two-person game, lead, sees the ball go out of bounds in a situation where you wouldn't think the offensive player would just lose the ball out of bounds, right? Said, we're staying here. He thinks the ball was deflected. As trail, I have got a wide open look. That player was just trying to anticipate making a one-handed pass and lost the ball out of bounds. Go to my partner. Defense never touched the ball. He said, okay, I'm going to correct it. Cracks his whistle, points, we're off the other direction, right? Is that a correctable error? No. Is that a fixable situation? Right? Our official has made a ruling. It's out of bounds going in this direction. We come with information and we fix it and the game is better. Oh, Billy. Minnesota. Dave, help me out here. Minnesota's got me all. Visitors wear white. Our visitors wear white. So our home team had this violation, right? Okay. Fixable, but we're going to weigh the factors. Yeah. Okay, so Stan, you're pushing back and saying, hey, no need to fix this situation. Just let it go and consider, that's an approach. We're going to evaluate all of the things. But we do want to have that game, crew, you mentality. This is an easy fix of an erroneous ruling, right? So Jeff Larson says, FIBA, is this a backcourt violation in FIBA? I do not know. I do not know FIBA rules and restrictions. Oh, my. Got me all backwards on that play. Minnesota! Minnesota! Oh, boy. Yeah, I couldn't figure out why the score was 59-45 with 2 minutes in the second period, or with 4 minutes remaining in the second period. It's like, that's an up and down game, I'll tell you that much. All righty. Have we done all of the things? Yes, we have. Let's. All right, a super simple play, one that we have to catalog and understand. But now let's move on to our next play scenario. All right, a fantastic clip. So this was on Lamar's YouTube page, Lamar Sullivan, link in the show notes below. But our official here, this is Andrew Gross, who often publishes his plays on Facebook groups. A great young official, right? And so we have a great play here. A lot of things to discuss on this play, right? Transition action. Crew is in great position to officiate. And judgment is this is a verticality play. Our defender is legal on this play. Our visiting coach does not agree and animatedly gestures and yells at the lead official. In doing so, contacts the center official. Center official assesses a technical foul. Right? So let's look here at all of the things that come into play. We're going to make a judgment about the play itself. We're making judgment about the positioning of the crew. We're making judgment about reactions. We're making judgments about demeanor and all of these things. And we want to say, this is good, 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 couldn't be improved, could be improved. You know, it's going to take all that goodness. Take goodness wherever you can find it, and let's go from there. All right, so on this play, let's take a look. Transition action. We need to make a judgment about our defender and the legality of this defender. Do they ever establish legal guarding position? Right? I'd say here we've got a player with 2 feet on the floor and he is facing his opponent. That is legal guarding position. But then when the player comes to attack, let's go back to here. When he makes the jump, right, the body is turned. Let's show up here. Well, the body is turned and he's no longer facing the opponent. After you have established legal guarding position, you are allowed to turn. Right? In initial guarding position, 2 feet on the floor facing a defender, or facing the opponent. But after that, I no longer need to maintain that. I can turn my body, and that's his choice here as he goes up. And so we see his feet where he is on the floor when he jumps, right? And where he lands. He did not jump into the ball handler. He jumped up. The contact with the ball handler actually moved the defender back, right? There's a lot of contact on this play. The defender, though, is legal here in my judgment. Our head coach animatedly directs energy towards the lead official and contacts the center official, right? Center official says, we're not having that, right? So we could say, let's say the coach was just standing there and there was some contact with the official, right? And it was like right at the edge of the court. We don't have necessarily a coach coming on. This is inadvertent contact. This is not unusual. This happens in the game. When you have a coach who is animatedly making comments about a call, no call, etc., and the same contact occurs, easy, right? So watch the demeanor of the calling official, right? No, we're not having that. That's a technical, and moves away, right? It's not animated. It's not excited. It's not reactionary. It's just like, no, we're not having that. Boom, boom, and move away. We're not gonna like come at the coach there, right? But it's just business. We're not having that. That's a technical foul, and go to report, right? And slow everything down and administer things correctly. So a great clip for us to review, right? And we want to take all of the demeanor things, all of the attributes. Our lead hustling to the end line, gets a great look on the play, makes a judgment. I think this is a collegiate game. I think there's some cylinder NCAA men's stuff that goes with it, right? But makes that judgment, makes that ruling. Our center official's in great position, uses his speed to get in great position on the play as well. Our head coach does something that rises to the level of a technical foul. It's just business. Boom, boom, and we're moving on from there, right? So we want to take all of the positives out of that equation that we can. I got you, Billy. I got you. Oh, I see on that previous play. Yeah, so I think in NCAA men's, they have some cylinder things that they're supposed to do in situations like that. Not the most important takeaway on the play. Mike Connors says legal. Yeah, Andrew is our center official on this play. Oh, excellent, Stan, on the previous play. Got you. Yeah, the verticality on this play is great. The question has to be asked, though, is did the player ever establish legal guarding position? Like if they had come from the other side of the lane in that sideways position and made the same play, we could have something different. But I think we have enough there for legal guarding position. Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, so this would be so Billy says, coach contacted the center. It's a big no-no. 1 lump or 2 with his tee. Maybe even a seat on the cold bus in the parking lot. Does this rise to the level of a flagrant technical on the coach? Right. We have a situation. Right. So we've got 3 possible scenarios. One is it's just inadvertent contact. Right. The coach is just standing, in the bench area in such a fashion that maybe part of their body is extended over the court, and our center official is very close to the sideline, turns, right? That's one thing. And the other is, as we have on this play, making animated, you've got to call, that's a foul, that at the lead, and then the contact occurs. That's a technical foul. Let's say our center official had made no call, and the coach then was saying at the center official, you've got to call that, and like shoves them or something like that, right? Now we've got a flagrant technical foul. For some, the contact here is inadvertent, right? But it's inadvertent while taking a certain action, which makes it a technical foul in this situation. But we could certainly imagine a scenario where some non-advertent contact was issued, in which case we would go flagrant technical foul, take a seat on the cold bus in the parking lot. So good point there, Billy. Oh, they've got to keep, but Mike says they keep them running. The buses are running in the parking lot. Right? The key thing here, Jason says, so this is a challenging play for him, right? The key thing here is picking up the defender, right? If we watch, our lead in transition here, and we know the ball's in the center's primary. who's our defender, right? And we see this play gets passed, and it's going to be going to the basket. If we watch, right, so we have the defender from the outside on the ball handler here, right? So Andrew has the open look between those. Who is responsible for this defender who is above our ball handler? This action here, this belongs to the center official. Our lead, all they have to do is pick up this secondary defender. If we pick up the secondary defender, these plays get a lot simpler. If we are watching across the lane here on this play, if we're letting ourselves be undisciplined and watch the action on the ball handler at this point and not pick up that secondary defender, then we're going to get surprised and potentially react and make an erroneous ruling on the play. If we said, look, you have one job here. Just pick up our secondary defender and tell me about the legality of this defender, right? Legal, 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 right? So we know also the player goes up with an arm and the arm comes down slightly, but there's no contact with that arm, right? If we're watching that arm, right? Legal, legal, legal. So that would be the takeaway on this play. Pick up the players you're supposed to officiate, and the game gets a lot simpler. No. 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 So Michael says, does the arm of the defender not have to be vertical? Right? If a defender, right, and again, I had this in my last play. We have a defender who swipes down, right? They are at risk. They have given up the verticality of that arm, but we have to have contact on the play, right? So in this play, right, the arm comes down slightly, but it's not what causes the action. The offensive player running into the body is what caused that player to go to the floor. So to answer your question, no, the arm does not have to be vertical. If it's not vertical, the player is at risk for any illegal contact by that arm, right? So the play I had, a two-person game, I'm the new lead on a transition play. And I know my partner's in good position as a trail opposite. A defender, right, from my side, swipes away from me on a potential shot, right? A big swipe down. But I'm completely obscured. I see his backside when he swipes down. Now, that player is wildly at risk for illegal contact if that swipe down got anything but ball or air. But I have no angle on the play. I know that my partner is going to have the open look on that play. I'm not going to guess in that situation, right? So defenders' arms, they give up their legality of that verticality when they swipe down, but there has to be contact in that situation in order to have a foul. Mike reiterates that point. That's possible. That's possible. We got to get Andrew here to answer the question. I don't know. I think. Let's see. No, I think it was the contact. And certainly, G-Man, all contact is not a foul, right? And so usually coaches in this situation are going to come back. You're telling me there was no contact on that play, right? What's our response? Legal. The defender was legal, right? If the defender's legal and there's contact, it's not on the defender, right? If the defender maintains legal guarding position, does nothing that rises to the level of a foul, they are legal, right? Thomas says, could this be a player control foul? Right. So when we have legal defenders with verticality, right, sometimes they get dislodged. They get moved back, right? That's just really kind of part of the game. If we have a defender who's like is dislodged in such a dramatic fashion that they are displaced 6 feet, 8 feet, tumble to the floor, etc., we could certainly have player control. To me, this does not really come close to rising to the level of a player control foul. All right, cool. All right, let's see. Greg is in control. He's dominating. What do we have? All right, we have time for one more play, a bonus play. Let's take a look. Right. A simple screening play to end the new year. No, end the year. Right? So, not a lot going on this play. Illegal screen by rule. We could talk about a number of things. When we analyze our game video, what are we looking at? We're looking at positioning of the crew. What are we officiating, etc. So, on its merits, we have a double screen situation here. Ball handler, a player moves to get open, right? Screening is legal. Screening is the act of placing your body in the path of an opponent on purpose, right? It's built into the game of basketball, but there's rules and restrictions regarding screeners, right? Our screener on this play initially is legal. We have torso contact on the play. This is a legal screen, but rather than, right, so our screener in this situation must remain stationary. We can't continue to adjust where we are on the court to prevent that player. Setting the initial screen is a legal thing to do. Moving as the screener is not a legal thing to do. So our player gets a little distressed here and continues to move into the path of the screener, making it illegal. Right? Much more interesting on this play. Let's see. No. Much more interesting on this play to look at the positioning of the crew and what we're looking at, right? So our trail official here has the on-ball matchup, even when the on-ball matchup moves towards the center official, right? As the center official, we're officiating players in our primary. If we're officiating players in our primary, we've got a great look at number 20, right? And we recognize the screening action that they're setting up here, right? All straightforward. Identify an illegal screen. Right. We notice though where our center position where our center ends up here. If we think the play through, we know as the center that this ball is coming towards us, and we would want to move down towards the end line in this situation to keep an open look on the screening action and the ball handler or the player who's coming across here to get open, right? If we're officiating players in our primary, we see this player move from the opposite side of the court and they're coming towards us. And the position of the ball, what do we expect to have happen when we see that player make that move, right? We expect that the ball is going to be passed to that player beyond the three-point arc for an open shot or something thereafter. So we want to anticipate that action and position ourselves lower so that when the ball is caught by that player, right, we're in better position. And we can accomplish that here by still officiating the screening action. So I'd say there's room for improvement from what we can see on the video. There's room for improvement. It looks as though our center official was anticipating getting on top of this play, right? We do perceive that the lead is coming over, right? And we would be the new trail as well. We may perceive that as the center here, but we still want to stay below that player, in my opinion, on this play. So I would expect our center, when they make the call here for the illegal screen, that they have an open look on this on-ball matchup here to the very left of the screen. But instead, we seem to be drifting out of the look. So I'd say that's room for improvement. Of course, we're now National Federation of High School. On this, we would have mechanic both at the spot and when reporting. We do recognize here as the center that we are going to become the new lead. I think in some parts of the country, you may still be using the mechanic where the calling official in this instance comes tableside. In California, we don't do that anymore, and I've become a little bit disconnected with that rule. This game is in California. So, yeah. That's what I have to say about that. All right, Critton has something by the defender. Team control, Dave has it. Calvin, no, they're not. Per NFHS. Old mechanic, I don't know how old the clip is, right? So, that's anytime there's a mechanics change, we have a clip from a couple of years ago. Oh, bad mechanics, right? Call correct. So Tony says, should it be team control foul signal and not a block signal, correct? So I think our guidance here at the National Federation of High School level is to use simply the signal for either that team control foul or player control foul, which of course now is the same signal when reporting. I believe that's the guidance. If needed to clarify, then, right, because it could have a hold, right? The player, the screener may have grabbed the arm of the player trying to get by, and we could clarify with a hold, team control, or something along those lines. Me personally, I if we have blocking, I go with that. I don't know what to say about that. And Mike says the block can be a secondary signal, right? Right. So again, why do we use signals, right? This would be my takeaway on that. Now let's go. The purpose of signals is to communicate to the stakeholders in the game. We want to communicate to our scorer if something needs to be put into the scorebook. If we have a foul, our job is to communicate to the scorer because the foul on the court needs to get into the scorebook as a foul on that player and a foul on that team towards bonus, right? So we need to be very accurate with our signals when reporting. We need to ensure that we have complete communication. That's why we have a reporting area in that instance to enhance that communication, because if information that from the court does not get into the scorebook, then we could potentially have problems, right? So our signals are meant to communicate. When we use secondary signals to help in that communication, has a crime been committed, right? When the bird dog, right, is not approved signal in NFHS anymore, but can be used to clarify the foul is on this player, not that player, right? It can help at the spot of the foul. It can help when we communicate with the table, etc., right? It can help communicate to the stakeholders in the game. So use of secondary signals that help in the communication, I strongly encourage. Now, purists, NFHS purists, may push back and say, no, that's the problem, is we've got too much of this individuality on the court, etc. If we're doing things that enhance communication, right? If we have a block on a play and point at our foot to indicate that it was a tripping foul at a high school level, I personally approve. For whatever that's worth. Oh. The illegal activity was blocking. That's why. Okay. I like that, Mike. He rides, Mike, so Mike says, what am I missing? I don't see illegal activity here. He rides, he maintains, like, I'm in your way, like, there's that video of the yeah. Blocking is illegally preventing a player from moving. What's the definition of blocking? It's not exclusively a defensive foul, although in practical terms often is. So Dave says in Minnesota still punch, also stay table side after reporting. So, right? So if we look at this play with those mechanics, our center would go table side and be the center table side for the resulting throw-in. Indeed. Chris, signals communicate and tell the story. Absolutely true. I'm going to get... Yeah, cool. All right, let me do this. Okay. That's that. That's that. And I go here. That's that. No? And I go here. Now, I had this the other day. I don't understand why things are doubled up here. Hold on just a second. Okay. All right. Hey, thanks for joining us today for 5 Play Friday. Appreciate you joining, sticking around to the end. If this is the video content that you find valuable as a basketball official, great time to do all of the things. You could hit like, you could hit subscribe, and you could hit notify so you don't miss out on any of our new content. Give me just a moment and allow me to thank those fantastic show supporters who help fuel our show. Charles Fogel, Fred Thompson, David Barnett, Nick Hahn. Oh, I screwed that up. Much appreciated and much love. If you want to support the show, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'll put a link above and in the show notes below. Tremendous. We have additional video content available for you here. This is a video I have selected for you. This is a video YouTube has selected for you. You've got to make a choice. Make your choice. Choose wisely, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care. Getting better at that part. Oh, I figured it. Dr. Phil, Happy New Year to you. Let's see. Let me do this. Let me do this. All right, Phil, got to go. Awesome. Enjoy. I hope everybody has a, first of all, allow me to thank everybody who joined today and everybody who's a consistent viewer. You make this so much easier for me, and the community that we have developed here is great, and the interaction is fantastic, and I appreciate you all so much. Let me just say that, number one. Now, we've got New Year's celebrations on tap for today. Some may have games, but probably most don't. We've got a day off to relax and recover from the holiday season so far. Hopefully you've got some availability to do something with family and friends, or fun, or party, or what have you. Obviously, we all have to remain safe and vigilant during this rough patch with the COVID variant we're dealing with now. And that'll be evergreen. Next year, when somebody sees this, they'll be, the new COVID variant. Yeah, let's all make it a great one. Let me do that. And have some fun, and watch that ball drop. The Austin family approach here in the beautiful San Francisco Bay Area is to watch the East Coast broadcast, so that we're done at 9 o'clock. Yeah. Well, because I got to get up early now, to do the live streams, right? So I can't stay up too late. Oy, oy, oy. Drink. I should have done a champagne episode, and some viewer action could lead to having to take another drink. Yeah, that'll happen. Chris, appreciate you. Everyone, have a happy New Year. Yeah, we got the heavy part of the season in the future. Zooch says I need to take a nap. We are telepathic. Dave, happy New Year to you as well. Stay healthy. Awesome. All right. I am going to wrap it. I hope everybody has a great time tonight. And on into the future, we will see you next week for Basketball Rules Expert and 5 Play Friday. Make it a great one. Do something for that someone who they couldn't possibly repay you, and you know that you are on your way. All right, fantastic. Take care, everybody.